Rhetorical Analysis Essay, EN 1202. I spoke about Governor of California's editorial and immigrant rights. He suggests that we can have the best of both worlds within an immigration policy, one that both strengthens our borders and welcomes immigrants. So we ask, how is this possible? Well, he first appeals to the pathos of his readers by saying he is an immigrant as well. And so he's wanting us to remember our respect for him as the governor, a movie star, a champion bodybuilder, and remind us that we as Americans respect immigrants. He goes on to talk about President Reagan and his policy of being the governor of California as well, saying if there had to be any walls on our border, then those walls would have doors, and those doors would be open to anyone with a will in the heart to get here. He said, I wish that our city would be brimming with commerce and opportunity. And so Reagan is depicting a very open kind of city, commerce-driven, opportunity, activity. And so Governor Schwarzenegger is just going on with that theme, saying, look, he's the governor and former president. I am now the governor. And so then he switches to the ethos and says, because we believe it, you as American people should believe it, that we can have both. We don't have to be hostile towards immigrants. And again, keeping in mind that he's an immigrant, he goes on to talk about the need for us to deal with immigration in a personal way and not leave it for an issue to be distant on Capitol Hill or talked about on talk shows. He says, no, this is something we deal with. Our nurses deal with it. We deal with it in our schools, in our workplaces. Immigration is a very real issue to us. But he at the same time continues to use words like have compassion for the immigrant. Do not be hostile. Do not be prejudiced, because we need to fix the problem. We don't need to attack the person. And he says that let's attack the law. Let's not attack the people. Governor Schwarzenegger, he goes on to say that he wants to reject the choices that say we should deport these millions of people that are here potentially illegally. He says that's a false way to handle it. He says we don't even know where the people are and what method it would be to start deportation. He also says that the people that say it's impossible to have border security in a free society, he says that's false. He says I reject both of those false choices. He says we can both strengthen our border and have compassion for immigrants. He's very adamant that those are the twin pillars, then switching back to pathos, because he's saying twin pillars, which automatically takes people to the 9/11 scenario. And he says if we don't have those twin pillars, compassion for the immigrant and control of the border, he says our strategies are going to collapse. And when Americans hear collapsing towers or pillars, we immediately pay attention. And so he grips our attention with that analogy of what happened in 9/11. And he's saying that we have to alert Congress and urge Congress to build a policy that both addresses compassion for the immigrant and strength for the borders. And I believe he's successful in doing that, because he does gain the heart of the American people. He illuminates that spirit of give me your tired and your poor. The Statue of Liberty song, he says, look, we are Americans. We love freedom. We love immigrants, but we do love security. We love safety, and we should have both. And that's my thesis. That's my conclusion, that he was successful in getting that point across, and that we're going to rally for Congress, because he takes the pressure off the common man's shoulders, and he says it shouldn't be fought in common areas. It should be fought in Congress. And so that makes us feel good as citizens, because we say, yes, go governor. Tell Congress to do their job. And so I believe he was successful, and I believe that the law can encompass both compassion for immigrants, and strength for the American borders.